I have always been obsessed with watching potters do their work. So I was really excited when a couple months ago, Matthew and I got a chance to take our date night and go take a pottery class. We went down to a place called the Clay Ground in Ellicott City and took a class where we got to work with a pottery wheel that spins based on the pressure you put on the pedal, and we could take the clay and make it go taller and smaller and make it into a pot or a cup or a bowl, but never a plate. Those are apparently way harder than I expected. And the experience of using the clay and molding it with my hands, I was so thrilled to be able to do that. And it made me think, of course, of this song that we sing every Pentecost and often throughout the rest of the year that goes, "Spirit of the living God, fall afresh on me. Melt me, mold me, fill me, and use me." My hope is that the things that we made at the Playground, once we go back and we glaze them and we finish them, that we'll be able to use them and fill them. But first, the clay had to be softened down and then had to be molded into a useful shape. Right? Matthew tried to make a tall cup so that he could drink his coffee in the morning. And I tried to make a bowl so that I can have noodle bowls at home. And so these vessels that we have are to be used and to be filled. The scriptures also talk about God as a potter, one who melts and molds and fills and uses us. In the book of Jeremiah, it says this. It says, God told Jeremiah, "Up on your feet, go to the potter's house, and when you get there, I'll tell you what I have to say." So I went to the potter's house, and sure enough, the potter was there working away at his wheel. Whenever the pot the potter was working on turned out badly, as sometimes happens when you are working with clay, the potter would simply start over and use the same clay to make another pot. Friends, sometimes our lives work out great and sometimes they work out poorly. As happens with clay, I learned that you should never touch your piece when the wheel is not moving, because then it'll be off kilter, and then the more it spins, the more off kilter it gets, and then the piece will fall apart altogether. But never fear, because with clay you can just always add more water and it'll be fresh again. You can squish it back down and start over again. That's how our lives are like with God. God is the potter and we are the clay, and God tells us that even if we get off kilter or we get out of whack, God adds the power of the Holy Spirit, the water and the spirit of our baptism. The Holy Spirit's presence helps to melt us back down so the Spirit of the living God can melt us, mold us, fill us, and use us. I hope you'll join us this Sunday for Pentecost Sunday. Wear red or other fiery colors as we celebrate the coming of the Holy Spirit and how that Spirit reshapes everything we do and everything we are, so that we can truly be masterpieces of God, who is the potter, who created us, loves us, and is with us always.